Hey everyone, it's Matt Mueller at Comicbook.com, and today we're going to be unboxing this little beauty, Marvel Civil War Dice Masters from WizKids. Of course, most of you have probably already seen the movie. It was freaking fantastic, and we got a mascot. What? Hold on. Wait a minute. He's getting. Hold on. What's up? Hey buddy, what's up, guy? Ah! Stop it! Hey, get out of my. It's my camera time. Stop it! You're weird. All right, whatever. He always hogs the spotlight. All right, so today we're going to be unboxing this little beauty, and then also in the gallery you'll be able to see some of the cards up close, and you'll be able to see the play mat, which WizKids was kind enough to send it. It's fantastic. It actually depicts the cover from Civil War #7, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and get into this. Sorry for the weird camera angle. You can't see some of the like the play mat and things like that. It's my jerry-rigged office setup here. So, but on a side note, you get to see like some of my things that I've collected. So hey, that's cool, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and open up this beauty. Oh, also, we're up in the Captain America colors here. Team Cap, all the way. Right on. All right. So the great thing about Dice Masters, aside from the actual gameplay itself, is that the games are pretty compact and you can pretty much take them anywhere with you. This one, of course, like all of them, has the rulebook, but what's cool about the rulebook is this little number, which actually pretty much tells you exactly how to play. It's great even if you don't have another play mat. You can actually just put this down, lay it down like this, and go ahead and play on it. And you each have your own little personal one, and that's cool. So it comes right in there. It's stapled in, of course, but, you know, hey, it's cool. It's cool that they included it nonetheless. It wouldn't be Dice Masters without dice bags. And for those who don't know what Dice Masters is, it's kind of, the best way to explain it is a deck builder without cards, but does have cards. So, yeah, and it kind of works. Hey, don't judge me. So, of course, we got Team Cap. Dice bag there, right? And we have a Team Iron Man. Why you would pick that, who knows? But we have a Team Iron Man. My bias is not showing at all. I apologize. I actually don't apologize. Cap was right. All right. And what's cool here, as you can see there, we got all the dice, right? And they're all kind of in a random order there. And we're also going to spotlight some of the cards for you. Let's take a look at that. It's weird. Stop. Hey, stop. It's not your time. There was a cue and everything. I don't know why we have to always tell you. Stop it. God. Really? Jeez. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. So, first off, we're going to actually go over a couple of the cards. Now, the character cards, typically they come with about 8 per starter set, right? And then you get your other cards, your character cards, through the booster packs that you can go ahead and buy. Typically they're around like $2 to $4 depending on where you go, and each one's going to come with 2 cards and 2 dice. So that's how you build, but the starter set comes with a pretty good smattering of characters and action cards and things like that. So it's a pretty good deal. Of course, it wouldn't be a Civil War set without Cap and Iron Man. So each of those has 2 character cards in this set. So here's one of them, right? Nice, right? And then there's the second one. And we'll go ahead and take photos of these so you can actually see the abilities and things like that they do, because each one's a little different. So there's Cap. And then, of course, we got Iron Man. And both Cap and Tony come with a 4 and a 5 energy. And you'll see that in the top, what's that, top left corner. in the reflection, it looks like the right, and I want to say the wrong thing. So in that top left corner is actually the amount of energy it costs to purchase it, right? And it has a symbol next to it, and that tells you what type of energy you need to buy it. Now, of course, you only need 1 of that type of energy. So if you get, 3 lightnings and you get 1 mask, you can buy it because you've got at least 1 of the energy it needs, right? So there's Iron Man. Also, one of the cooler ones that comes with the set is She-Hulk. And we're going to go ahead and put all 3. Now, with Tony and Cap, they only come with 2 each in the starter. With She-Hulk, it actually comes with 3. And each one's a little bit different. And like you can see in the abilities there, each one's got their own little ability. One of the cooler ones is actually this one, which is the 5 energy. What's cool about her is that she can actually, when declaring blockers, when there's an attack done, She-Hulk can block up to 2 character dice on her own, which is awesome. Only problem is she costs 5 energy to get, and typically you're going to start off with 4 sidekick dice. So you have to kind of buy some other hero character dice to be able to afford one of her. But she's awesome if you can get her. So She-Hulk. Another 3 set here is going to be Wasp, which is great. Plus, I'm always partial to that character design anyway, that costume. So that's awesome. One of her cooler ones is actually in the 2. Is so, it's basic, but it comes with no abilities. But this one is the 3. And it actually has the fast keyword, and that's going to let you basically get the preemptive attack on a character die. So if a character is attacking you, you get the first attack. Typically the way attacks and defense work in this game is that everything happens at the same time. So you kind of calculate everyone's attack. So yeah, I might hit you and KO you, but if your attack beats my defense, then I'm KO'd as well. So it's all of everybody is just kind of done all at once. With her, you can actually get the first hit in and you won't take any damage. So pretty cool to have. And she's actually one of the cheaper characters. So that's great. Another character who is a little bit cheaper on the energy but still fantastic is, of course, Black Widow. Everyone's favorite spy. What? Look at that. And one of hers is actually when fielded, deal 1 damage to target opposing character die, which is great. And like I said, her, it's like 2 and 3 energy. She's great to go ahead and early. You can get all of her dice in your bag and then start to build up some energy so you can actually afford some of the more powerful characters. Powerful in energy, not necessarily effective. She's effective. Oh, by the way, we can't have a Black Widow card not get on the camera. Now stop. Why do you get so close? I said don't get close. No one listens. I give notes before it starts. I don't know. I don't know what that means. That means there's nobody here. I don't know who I'm talking. So here we go. Falcon. And now what's interesting here, it's a Civil War set. And of course this set is really based on the comics. So a lot of the art is from the actual series itself. A lot of the cover art's there. Falcon's in his Captain America duds, which are awesome, and I love it. But during Civil War, he wasn't really. So I do kind of like that in a sense that they've actually included characters that had nothing to do with the book. She-Hulk did, Black Widow did. So far, and Falcon did, but not in that, guys. But we're gonna get to some characters here where you're like, why? Mostly. Well, actually, here's the next one. So I know why, because he's popular. So of course, for 3 cards here, we've got Rocket Raccoon. And Rocket's the man, so I get it. And he's like one of the most popular characters now, so totally makes sense why they included him, even though in Civil War he basically had nothing to do with it. In fact, the Guardians themselves were pretty much AWOL during that time. so but I get it. And what's great about him is he's cheaper, and he's kind of a glass cannon, so he hits really hard. He doesn't take a lot of damage, so you can get a couple of his dice up there in the field and take some stuff out, but you're pretty much going to go out in that same turn unless you have some other dice that are blockers like that She-Hulk guy we were talking about before. Here's the last character who's included in the starter set, and here's kind of the character that you don't really understand why, but maybe just because someone likes Scarlet Spider. So that's kind of cool. And like I said, I dig the design, and he's actually got some cool abilities. He's really kind of on the more expensive side with 4s and 5s, but he has a lot of abilities that allow you to damage someone like automatically. One of his other ones actually allows you to spin his die up. One of the things you'll notice, and I'll actually show you some of the dice here in a second, but one of the things you'll notice is that each character has 3 power levels. So depending on which one you roll, that's what you've got that turn. But his allow you to actually spin those up. So if you're on the lower end of that character's power level in a couple of turns, you can automatically keep him in the field, spin those up, and kind of be hitting at max level. So it's kind of cool. But it is kind of weird that Scarlet Spider's in the set. And once we get to some of the booster packs, you'll also be like, really? But I get it. It's Civil War specific, but Doesn't mean they had to be in the original event. So, it is what it is. But it's just kind of interesting that he's in there. So, like we were talking about here, let's show you some of the dice. It is called Dice Masters, right? And so, of course, you're going to start off, and we're actually going to be doing a walkthrough video of this, and actually a game back and forth, and kind of show you, like, you start out with the demo game in the manual. It comes with a really quick, easy to learn demo game with like 2 characters each. You go to 10 health. A typical game goes to about 20. So, it's just something you can knock out in about 10 minutes. And you're not going to get all the different advanced tactics, but you're going to at least get the grasp of what you're doing. And I would say do about 2 of those, and then you'll have a really good idea of what gameplay entails. But let's take a look at this. So, these right here, good sir, I don't know why. It just felt like it. These right here are going to be psychic dice, and you start out with 4 of those at the beginning of the game, each player. And then what we want to show you here real quick, and let's get a couple different ones. So there are a couple different symbols that weren't in the original there. That one that looks like kind of like a pawn, that is a psychic die. It has like 1 defense and 1 attack, but it costs nothing to put into battle. So they're great blockers. They're also great just to get something in there, especially if the other player has nothing to stop you. It's just basically a quick jab. Also, the other ones are how you buy other cards. So like I said, you put those symbols in play. You've got other symbols here. That question mark, of course, is kind of, you can make it whatever you want. And so there's a couple of other symbols as well, which you'll see there, right? So those are kind of the basic dice that come. You can get those in the starter set, and each one only starts out with 4. So then let's move to actions, and we'll actually get to action cards in a minute, but I actually want to show you some of the dice for those because they are interesting only in the fact of what they allow you to do. And you know what? This would be easier if we just dumped it all. I know this is really fun for you at home because you can't see what I'm doing. So I mean, it's not my fault. What? Spidey, get out of the camera. Get out of the camera. He's really, like, the Civil War, like, awesomeness has gone to his head a little bit, but I keep telling him it's like the old costume, it's not the new costume, but he doesn't understand. Look, I mean, what are you gonna do? You explain it to a pop? Leave him alone, he's fine. So, I got a pink, a yellow, and here. All right, so you're gonna notice action cards come with different colors, okay? And they're gonna those die are gonna look like this. And you're gonna see here, those are actually like that as well. So the number is actually 2 energy of any kind, okay? And also the kind of action symbol burst things, those activate certain abilities on action cards. So in addition to character cards, you can also buy from the board action cards. Action cards are going to be things like they let you re-roll, they let you actually roll additional dice, when your turn is like not complete. So you can actually go ahead and right in the middle of a turn, you roll that. If you get that ability and that card says, hey, go ahead and roll 2 more, you're able to add that to your pile as of right then. Other abilities let you deal damage to the other players. They let you automatically attack character dice that are on the mat. They let you do a variety of things. And what's cool about these is that they are actually very, they kind of reference the comics a lot. So let's see, what's a good one here? The art on these, like, I gotta say, I gotta applaud most of the art choices. Pretty spot on. So like this one, right? Brother versus brother. Boom! Awesome. It's that same cover. And by the way, this is the actual image that is on the playmat, which again, I'll take a picture of. But you've got that. You've got this being one of the most iconic scenes of the comic Civil War. Of course, it's not in the movie because, he just got here. So it'd be kind of stupid for him to reveal his identity. Plus, it didn't even matter in the original anyway. So, they undid it with Mephisto, and don't get me started. This one isn't exactly from Civil War. It's actually from the new Avengers book. But I like it anyway, and it's good art. So, hey, there you go. Okay, every time, just a small thing, every time I draw one of these, I want to be like Gambit because I'm a nerd and I used to do that all the time when I was a kid. After I'd watched the cartoon, I'd go ahead and take this and just woo, and, like throw it, and that just ended up with a bunch of like bent and spent cards. I went through like tons of playing card decks. I think pretty much any kid who watched that series did. So anyway, just a small aside. Not that you care, but it's fun. All right. So that's actually everything that comes in the base set. The game is pretty quick. You can play, even with a stacked team, more than like the demo game. You can get a game in 15, 20 minutes. And if the other player sucks, like I did in my first few games, then you can get him through in about 10. So it's awesome. But let's go ahead and look through some of the booster packs and actually see some of the cards that you can pull when you go ahead and add to it. I opened about 8 packs, which feeds into my addiction because I love to open stuff. So first, let's go through some of the characters that make a lot of sense. If you've read Civil War, they're characters that just like, oh, hey, that's great. I didn't get a ton of rares. The cards you can get are actually, you can get uncommons, rares, things like that, right? And also, a lot of those cards have different abilities than their common brethren. So it's kind of cool. There's that little bit of a collectible thing, and you actually get a gameplay perk in addition to it, other than just saying, "Oh, look, I have a green tinted card or whatever." It's not even tinted; it's like a little row thing. So, but I got one of those. I got an uncommon. So this one right here. So for Civil War fans, you'll notice that that's Nitro. Now he's one of the, well, actually, he's kind of the main reason that the Stanford incident happened. What's great is that his actual card name, if you didn't catch it, is the Stanford incident, which is awesome. And when Nitro attacks, each Nitro character die can't be blocked by character dice with defense less than or equal to Nitro's defense, right? So depending on the card, if he's got a 4 defense, no one with that or below can block him, which is kind of makes sense with the characters. I like that they kind of interpreted his powers into that, and it makes total sense. So, and then his die, you'll see here, looks a little bit different than all the others, and he's got a little atom cloud there, which is kind of cool. I also ended up, you'll get some extras as well of characters you already have. I got an extra Scarlet Spider and his accompanying die there, right, which is kind of cool, kind of spider-like. So, that's kind of cool. I got also a Falcon extra, and his dice looks like that, which is kind of neat, right? It's got a little falcon. I don't know why I have to make the sound. It just happens that way. It's just habit. And then I think that's all. That's it for the extras that I got. And then what's cool here, let's take a look at these. So I also got some PIM particles, which is awesome, right? And then we'll show you those dice here, which is kind of cool looking. And also you'll notice on these especially, right? So we got the kind of the atom symbol there, and then we've got the 2 masks. The character dice have a lot more chances to double your energy. So they have multiple sides that have double energy. So it's kind of imperative that on your team you've got a good mix of low powered, as far as low cost energy characters, and high cost, because if you get a couple of those low costs in your bag, then you're able to kind of draw a couple of these and start picking up your big guns. So it makes total sense. And PIM particles is a perfect reason. It's like 2 energy, and then the other one's 3. Fans, Justice, what? I was always a big New Warriors fan. And his die, sorry, looks like that. If Brian watches this, he'll kill me because I said dice instead of die when I was talking about 1. It's just a faux pas, I guess, when it comes to talking about dice. Also, we got Songbird, which is kind of cool, right? And then here we've got hers. Let's go ahead and show you a little bit of those. Bam! Like Emerald. Yes, I made an Emerald reference. I don't know why. And then, of course, 2 of the most popular characters in the new Civil War film. We got Spidey. That's right, I got 2 Spider-Man. Whoa, what? And then I got here, let's show you his. I actually really like the look of his dice. They're kind of cool looking. It's like a really dark blue. It's awesome. And then, not to be left out, Ant-Man. What? All right. And then, of course, it's a little ant. Like, why would it be anything else? Right. And then one of the cooler ones here, I got a Winter Soldier. It's kind of disappointing I only got one Winter Soldier because I really wanted at least two. But and then his symbol's actually pretty sweet, right? And then continuing with the New Warriors theme, got a name Marina, which is kind of cool. And hers is actually awesome. I love the design and the color of that. Then I got an Iron Fist, which is awesome. I think I've said awesome at least 5 times. We're gonna put a referendum on that. I can't say awesome anymore. I just said it again. But I was referencing what I said, not saying it again, so we'll count that. I was really happy that I actually got a Maria Hill because I love that character for some reason. I don't know why. So, and I can't hold 2 cards of vanilla. So Maria Hills are kind of cool looking. And then finally, the piece de resistance of the pulls that I got here. I got some Moon Knights. What? I was really happy about pulling 2 of those. And then, of course, it has moons. Why would it have anything else? Makes total sense. So, again, Moon Knight didn't really do a ton in Civil War. Iron Fist was involved. You know, the New Warriors make sense because they were kind of at the center of the events. Of course, Spider-Man. Oh, and I forgot one more. Actually, I rescue. Some pepper pots. Love that. And then hers is cool. So, so overall, a really nice haul out of all those boosters, and got a really nice. Like you can actually make a team now, and plus with the ones I pulled from the starter set, you can have a very base team for 2 players right out of the box. But with a couple of booster packs, I do suggest going at least to buy maybe 4 because then you can actually have 2 players can actually have a decent amount of characters to pick from, and at least have one, hopefully 2 actual dice to be able to start buying from. When you have a bunch of characters that just have 1 die, it's kind of hard to really maximize their abilities. So it's still cool to have. So overall, really nice haul. So we'll take photos of everything that I've got here, everything I showed you. And that way you can actually see some of the abilities and read the text and things like that. Because I know me moving it in front of the camera is not, it's not the most practical. So yeah, I've really enjoyed what I've played so far. And we'll be doing a gameplay video soon. So until then, peace.